You're the dirty dozen.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most shocking reveals on Criminal Minds.
When Crystal died, I died a little bit too.
For this list, we'll be looking at the times the long-running series surprised us with wild, scary, heartbreaking, and sometimes pleasant discoveries. Spoilers ahead for all 16 seasons of Criminal Minds, including Criminal Minds Evolution. What reveal shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Garcia's date is a serial killer. Lucky and Penelope. When tech analyst Penelope Garcia sees an attractive guy having computer trouble in a coffee shop, she kindly lends him her expertise.
Oh, figures. It's Windows. Temperamental. Let's try. Voila.
He introduces himself as James Colby Baylor. They exchange numbers, and later he asks her out to dinner. Garcia is taken aback, but agrees to the date, unaware of his true motives. When the night ends, James shoots her and leaves assuming he killed her.
I've been thinking about doing this all night.
His real name is Jason Clark Battle, a sheriff's deputy who shot innocent people just so he'd be seen a hero for attempting to save them even if he was unsuccessful. Since Garcia tagged some of the unsolved cases he was responsible for, he believed the FBI was onto him.
Garcia, you flagged these cases. He thought you were onto him.
Who was it?
But you're the only person in the world who was going to make the connection. In his mind, he had to eliminate you.
Number 9, Reed's parents helped cover up a murder. Memoriam.
Riley. Riley was real.
Oh, poor Riley.
Yes, Riley. Poor Riley.
While on a missing child's case in Spencer Reed's hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada, he experiences a recurring nightmare of a deceased boy in a basement. When he finds out that it's Riley Jenkins, a kid from his past, he's determined to figure out who murdered him and what his connection is to the case.
I don't know, I think the dad might have had something to do with it.
Reed has flashbacks of his mother, Diana, who was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and his estranged father, William, burning bloody clothes in their backyard. In pursuing his dad as a suspect, he uncovers his parents' involvement in covering up the murder of Riley's killer, Gary Brendan Michaels, at the hands of Riley's father, Lou. It was Diana's clothes they destroyed after she stumbled upon the bloody crime scene.
You were burning her bloody clothes.
But the knowing, you can't burn that away.
Number 8, Rossi's daughter. Fate.
Hayden would have told me if she was pregnant.
The love life of David Rossi has been somewhat of a running joke on Criminal Minds. He earned a reputation as a womanizer, with multiple marriages and divorces.
So, got a sycophant who wants a mentor.
Do you believe this?
Yeah, look on the bright side. It's not one of your exes looking for more money.
He married the second Mrs. Rossi, Hayden Montgomery, in the 1980s, and the couple lived in Paris for a time. However, things didn't work out between the two, and the courtship ended soon after. Hayden gave birth to their daughter Joy and didn't tell her ex-husband, knowing he was too busy with the FBI to raise a child. Decades later, Rossi catches a young woman stalking him who drops the bombshell that she's his daughter, and that he has a grandson.
I'm your daughter.
Joy appeared a few more times in the show as their father-daughter bond grew. Number 7, Emily Prentiss is alive. Lauren and It Takes a Village. Years before SSA Emily Prentiss joined the Behavioral Analysis Unit, she worked as a spy for Interpol. While under the alias Lauren Reynolds, she cozied up to international arms dealer Ian Doyle, pretending to be his girlfriend.
Tu es plein de surprises, dit-on.
Si tu savais.
After he escapes from a prison camp, Doyle tracks down Emily and her former colleagues, and not everyone makes it out alive. During a face-to-face showdown, he stabs her and flees. At the hospital, Hotch and JJ break the news to the team that she didn't survive her injuries.
She never made it off the table.
But in the final scene, JJ's in Paris, delivering an envelope to Emily in disguise. We're relieved, but the team doesn't find out until the next season. Number 6, Elias Voigt has a family. Sicarius.
Come on, nobody's that good. You want to bet?
With infamous serial killers like Dennis Rader and Ted Bundy, who use their normalcy to get away with murder, an unsub having a family may not seem too surprising. But when it comes to season 16's main unsub, Elias Voigt, aka the Sicarius Killer, whose lair is an underground shipping container, we don't expect him to be a loving husband and father.
Oh. Best husband ever.
By the time he's on the BAU's radar, he's already buried kill kits around the country, established a network of serial killers, and racked up his own high body count along the way. Voigt can't escape his traumatic upbringing by his murderous uncle, and though he may appear like a regular family man to some, he struggles to contain his urge to kill.
After everything I taught you, you still think you can be normal?
No, I'm still what you made me.
Number 5, a woman unknowingly attends therapy with her daughter's kidnapper, Hope. Almost 7 years following the disappearance of her daughter, Monica Kingston goes missing after attending a victim support group meeting led by Penelope Garcia. She left with fellow group member Bill Rogers, who confessed to taking Hope years before.
How do you know about the letter?
Because I'm the one who took Hope.
With promises of reuniting them, Monica goes along. But the longer she's with him, the more she learns about her daughter's life under her captor's control.
Sorry, Bill. I'll do it better next time.
Bill finally tells her that he joined the support group after Hope took her own life when she was pregnant. Knowing that Monica regularly saw the man who abducted, severely mistreated, and killed her daughter is beyond devastating.
I've heard this. You spoke in group. It was your wife. But you were talking about my Hope.
Number 4, a young unsub, A Shade of Grey. The tragic death of Carl Murphy might be one of the BAU's most disturbing cases due to the ages of the victim and the unsub. The team hits the ground running when they arrive in New Jersey, searching for a missing boy.
I cannot stress enough how much time is of the essence here.
His parents are distraught, and the media attention is overwhelming. And after his body is found in the woods, the BAU tracks down the likely culprit, registered sex offender Hugh Rollins. But the evidence doesn't quite add up.
He didn't sleep in his room. Why was it destroyed?
To make it look like the other crime scenes.
Prentice sits down with Carl's older brother Danny and witnesses the boy's serious anger issues and lack of remorse. The parents and local investigator reveal the truth in a shocking conclusion. Danny killed his own brother for breaking one of his toys.
Why would you hurt him?
Sorry, Mom.
He loved you so much.
Number 3, one unsub, 3 personalities. The Big Game and Revelations.
Unsubs suffering from a psychopathy, a delusion like a message from God, or what we could classify as being disorganized. They don't generally clean up after themselves.
The BAU gets called to Atlanta, Georgia, after a married couple is found violently murdered in their home. What's unusual about the case is that the unsub called 911 before the victims were killed, naming the perpetrator as Raphael.
Only because Raphael.
That's enough.
I don't want to.
He's calling because Raphael is going to kill the sinners that live here.
The team is confused by the conflicting evidence, which shows both an organized and disorganized killer. After Reed and JJ go to question Tobias Hankel, a potential witness who turns out to be the unsub, or rather, unsubs. While we hear multiple voices speaking throughout the episode, we only see one person. They determine Hankel has a dissociative identity disorder and alternates between 3 personalities: himself, his father, and the Archangel Raphael.
He was a sinner.
You haven't proven that.
They all are in the end.
Number 2, Morgan's past trauma. Profiler profiled.
Buford says he hasn't spoken to you in years. Why don't you visit the man who made your career possible?
While visiting his hometown of Chicago, Derek Morgan is arrested as a suspect in the murder of Damian Walters. Of course, he's innocent of the crime, but a local detective believes he's the culprit.
Somebody killed him?
Not somebody, Derek.
You think I did this?
When the team arrives to help Morgan, they dig into his past even though he adamantly tells them not to. But he later reveals his long-hidden secret that his former football coach and youth centre operator, Carl Buford, physically mistreated him for years.
He did things to you, James, didn't he? He did them to me, too.
Buford did the same unspeakable things to the other boys, including Damian Walters, whom he killed and framed Morgan for the crime. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. A woman abducted her niece. 7 seconds. The search for a missing girl uncovers dark family secrets.
While you lay awake, protecting an animal who will always have those urges, and always has.
Don't, please don't.
There's nothing left for you to protect, Susan.
Munchausen by proxy. Risky business. A string of seemingly accidental teen deaths traced back to a father working as an EMT.
So the father poses as a classmate and invites local kids to join the game.
Bumps up the stakes and encourages them to use the riskiest methods.
He works on Friday nights.
Which means he gets called out to do the rescues. He's not just collecting videotapes, his Munchausen has evolved.
JJ's feelings for Spencer. Truth or dare. A hostage situation leads JJ to make a confession.
I've always loved you. And I was just too scared to say it before.
Under the bed. Saturday. The unsettling discovery of a stalker's hiding place.
What is that? Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's been stalking her from in here.
JJ's miscarriage. The Forever People. A mission that led to a devastating loss.
I know you were wounded.
I was pregnant. You see, if I had never gotten involved, Nadia and her daughter would still be alive, and Henry would have a little.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. George Foyet is the Reaper. Omnivore. In the 1990s, a prolific serial killer dubbed the Reaper terrorized the city of Boston. This was Hotch's first BAU case, which abruptly ended when the murders stopped.
The killing stopped. I waited 6 weeks before I sent you away.
After years of being dormant, the Reaper returns to kill again, prompting Hotch and the team to assist in the investigation. They speak to George Foyet, the only victim to survive the unsub, who now lives off the grid under different aliases.
Why, you think he's got some special interest in me? Living with that possibility for the past 11 years.
But as the body count rises, the BAU discovers that Foyet is the Reaper, and purposefully wounded himself posing as a victim. This mastermind went on to become one of the most formidable unsubs in the series.
Between the phone call and the severity of his wounds, we never considered him as a suspect.
Why would he do it?
It put him at the core of the investigation. Everything we had came from him.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.